Next, I want to, I scheduled this kind of selfishly, this program. I live on South Riverbend Road, so I'm very excited to hear about the Riverbend Park. And Brian Chastain is here with us today, and he's been with the Whitfield County Park and Recreations. He's been the director for 32 years, 23 years, and yet, so you've been with us with the Whitfield County for 23 years. So thank you for your service to the community, and we're excited to hear your presentation on the park. And I'll pull up let me pull this up, a diagram of the building, the park. Brian, if you want to come up and.
All right. I just want y'all to know that Brian's one of my favorite people in the whole Whitfield County staff.
Well, that's an honor to hear, and thank you for that. And it's an honor for me to be here today to kind of talk about something that's dear to my heart too, because I graduated from Southeast High School. I'm not going to tell you what year or when it was, but I went to Eastbrook. I was one of the kids. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day when I lived in Donville, so when they did the split, the redistricting of the schools, that was probably, I don't know if there's been another one since. I can't remember, but when they took Donville, basically, we were at North Whitfield and shifted us to Eastbrook. So I was in the middle. I was sixth grade at North Whitfield, and I got moved to Eastbrook back then. So, back then, the kids, we didn't know, we didn't care. We just wanted to go somewhere and have a good time. And I was thankful to go to Southeast, that's for sure. So this is near and dear to my heart. So, and thank you guys again for letting me kind of talk about it. So we had a splosh that was passed. Thanks for Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, for helping get that passed. $13 million we had allotted for this project. And I'm going to sit here and tell you that may not be enough to get it all done, but we're going to work hard to try to get it in budget. We have a community center that's being built, and you guys can kind of see that on the I don't know if you can read that as good as I can, but you see the football field to the right and then the community center there. And then the big open square basically is the parking lot. So basically we got a 2-gym community center. We'll have 2 gyms. We'll have a walking track above that people can come in, citizens, neighborhood, whatever, can come and walk around the top of the track. They won't be disturbed by basketball players that are shooting basketball and throwing them. That's the only negative kind of going on at Edwards right now. That's where our offices are. And we took the walking track out of that one. Lord, I can't remember when we did that. 2015, I think it was when we approved that. But just because the cost was just so high at that time. So we took that out. And that's the hardest thing is the walkers just having to deal with the basketballs flying around and stuff. So, but anyway, we're going to take care of this in this situation. So the walkers, there'll be an elevator and stairs, so you can get up there you can get upstairs easily. We'll have some offices there. Basically, we took Edwards Park Community Center and changed a few things around a little bit, just kind of shrunk it down just a little bit in the office area because we don't need that many offices there, obviously. And this will be my future office. So I plan on moving down to, we've got a 4-person staff that's rec. People look at rec and think there's a big number, but we're actually 1.9% of the county's overall budget. So we're not very big. We don't have a lot of money. So our goal is to kind of divide and conquer. We're going to take our 4 people in the office and 2 go to Riverbend and 2 will stay at Edwards. So we're excited about that. And I'm excited about being down there because actually it's like 5 minutes from home. So. But the community center will be real nice. And again, you can see the parking lot. And in the back of the community center, we have dressing rooms for when we have all-star tournaments, things like that. Teams can come in and get dressed. And we also designed them so that in the future, if there is a chance that, say, Southeast Whitfield plays JV there, or maybe one day has to play a varsity football game, there's dressing rooms that are set up in the back that can be utilized for the teams also. The thought was possibly down the road that there could be a pro soccer team that comes in. So this would be a great place for that team to play, to give them those dressing rooms also. We just thought we needed to put that in there just to make it a lot neater draw for people to come in. But the soccer field, obviously you can play soccer or football on it, but it's 70 yards wide, which is a college-sized soccer field. And that's what we don't have here, basically. So we're excited about getting that. And if you look down at the bottom where you see unfinished soccer field, basically we've got that graded, laid out. It's just financing right now. We just don't know if we're going to have enough money to finish that one out. I have been talking to a donor about donating the money to do it. It's just nothing's locked in yet. So I hate to commit that to someone that's giving money. But our hope is that one way or another we can get it finished, or at least get some grass on it and just have a grass field in there we play. And I did forget to mention the soccer field is turf. It's all turf. So we can play on it year round. To give you an example, Edwards Park, you know, our back pod baseball fields, we turfed 2 of those fields and 2 of the infields. And in the month of March, just for an example, in the month of March, we took in over $4,000 in rental, which we never get. So that just goes to show. And I hadn't shared this with anybody yet, but I'll share it with you guys. I had a guy already approached me for Edwards Park and just talk about the impact of turf, basically. Offered to give us $50,000 to rent that pod from March to October on weekends. The most I've ever taken in is $40,000 in 1 year in rental anyway. So I think these will pay for themselves down the road. It'll take a little time, but it'll get through. And then this part's going to be tremendous. Okay, so now we'll get to the nicer part of the fields, the baseball fields. These are high school sized baseball fields. They're 325 all the way around with a 15-foot fence in the middle, just to get the regulation for high school distance. These fields are all turfed also, and you can see they're multi-purpose fields. And I just kind of had them draw in 2 fields with football and 2 fields with soccer, and we're going to obviously be able to do both of them on each. These will not be full-size fields, but they're going to be full-size width for high school level, basically. And then they'll only be 80 yards long, just because you couldn't get any bigger distance in there. But those will help open up space so that the bigger collegiate soccer fields down there will get used for the older kids, and then this would be used for the smaller kids. So baseball tournament, softball tournament, soccer tournament, football tournament. If you brought a soccer tournament in there, you basically got 6 fields that you could play on if we get the unfinished one finished. So we're real excited about that. And if you see the long street coming in, anybody that questions where that ends up, it comes out at the red light where Southeast is at the bypass. I'm sure everybody knows kind of where the bypass is, and the red light there will be another leg on that light, basically. So you'll come in and out with a red light, which will be anybody that's ever went and watched a kid play at Edwards can help attest that what is it, about a 30-minute wait to get out? We have plenty of parking in there. There's a lot of parking, but there is just one way out of that park pretty much, and it just gets jammed up because there's no light there. So we're excited about getting that red light. And then we'll also have a back entrance that will come off. We're really not sure what the use limit's going to be for that back entrance, maybe just for getting crowds out. We just don't really know just yet, but at least there is 2 entrances. We know for sure we can use that back entrance for emergency vehicles and things like that getting in and out, because you've always got to have a plan for that. So, but we're really excited about this park. To give you an update of where we're at right now, we're pouring footers on the building. The grading should be done. Well, if the rain hadn't hit us, it'd be done this week. So when they get 3 more days of dry weather, they'll be through grading. And then they'll start working on the road bed, the driveway coming in and out, the curb and gutter and stuff like that. So we plan on putting the fields out for bid here in the next 2 weeks. So the building's real exciting. I mean, they've already got footers poured and getting ready. They're starting to work on pouring the slab. So it's just real exciting to get to watch that get progress along. And I'm not sure if any of you guys are coming in, but if you want to come back, if you want to go down and just kind of look at progress on the weekend or something, take the Collins Road entrance. If you look at the southeast red lights, you'll see this big, huge pile of dirt there. And everybody's like, what in the world's going on there? Well, that basically we're stockpiling that dirt to kind of push it over and tie into the red light. So it is a huge pile of dirt. I know I've talked real fast, so I'll open it up for questions right now. That's pretty much our park at Riverbend. One thing I forgot to mention is our community center is going to be called the Crossan Community Center, named after late Roger Crossan. So Roger was a mentor of mine. He was like a father to me. So I can't think of a better honor for somebody to get that for him. So we're really excited about that. Any questions?
Well, I heard you mention that schools will be able to access those facilities. Is that gonna be like a schedule type thing? That they have their ball games there?
Right. Southeast Baseball's already asked to play every home game there. And we were like, oh yeah, no problem. There'll be a sidewalk that goes all the way up to the bypass, basically. So we did that purposely so that, and they'll put a crosswalk across so that like runners, the cross country teams and stuff like that want to come across and run, they'll be able to cross that red light on foot, basically. So we were excited about getting that put in, just to help accommodate with Southeast. And we look to be great partners, hoping we'd be great partners with Southeast. I would think that in conversations I'd have with them, a lot of their JV football games and JV soccer games and possibly their varsity soccer games could be played there because of being all turf. So we're excited about that.
And all the fields will be artificial turf.
Yes, sir. All but the unfinished soccer field right now. We just don't know if we've got enough funds to pull that off yet, but we're hopeful.
Brian, is it still a master plan for a natatorium?
The city of Dalton is doing a natatorium. It's going to be beside the movie theater. You guys heard anything about that? It's going to be, where the mall is, obviously, where the movie theater. There was eight acres donated there, and the city of Dalton is in the progress of having a indoor swimming pool designed there. I'm not sure what model it'll be, if it'll be a true natatorium, but I know that will be an indoor pool there. So, but I'm hearing that's $15-20 million, so I would think that would probably be the natatorium. Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm gonna ask?
What's that?
You and Kent both promised me 2 college-size soccer fields.
Well, and we would love to do it.
So we're gonna do.
It's just finding that money.
How much money do we need?
We're probably gonna be 400,000 short, I would
That's
say.
all.
Yeah.
The turf itself is over $1 million.
No, it's only the turf itself will be 400 and something thousand dollars just for the turf, but then you got 280 for lights. And then the bleachers that we put in, which wouldn't be very expensive, $60,000-80,000. But
I mean, where is that on that picture?
that's the top, on the very top of the picture across the road.
Okay, so this one down here is also college size.
Right, that's the college size one. And then the splosh we'll have at West Side, we're building a college size soccer field also. But Kent and I, when Kent was kind of laying this out, and Kent's a county engineer, just FYI if anybody was curious. But he felt we kind of snuck that bottom field in, or the top field on the picture there. We kind of snuck that in for you guys, just in hopes that we would convince you to put it in there just because of the need. But worst case scenario, we'll be able to grass it, obviously, and it'll be a full size grassed soccer field. It may not. Yes.
Brian, do you have any more room for another pot of baseball fields or softball fields?
No, we don't. Actually, we just we're working on right now finalizing the deal. We're buying 16 more acres. That's just kind of south of this property. The original owners had it, and there's a cell phone tower on it now. And we're trying to get that property just in case we need extra parking, because anytime you build a big park like this, nobody ever puts enough parking in, which we've probably got 500 parking spots. But you guys know 500 doesn't go very far when you come in to watch grandkids and everybody shows up.
I guess I didn't hear it very clearly, but you're talking about a swimming pool over at close to the theater?
Right, now that I'm not involved with that.
Is that the thing that Willis Mashburn has is?
I don't think that they're involved with that.
It is not.
Okay.
They would have donated $2 million to the National Trust. Would have donated $2 million to build a swimming pool there. Their requirements were it had to be in the south end of the county.
Correct.
It had to be named the Mashburn Natatorium, and it had to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And I had the votes to do that, and then the commissioners changed their mind and said no.
Who would turn down $2 million?
Well, the commission, yeah, my thoughts exactly, but the commissioners were worried about that. It's pretty expensive, but I was pretty sad about that change.
Yeah, they were, I think the operating cost was just a big fear, about trying to figure out what to do there, which I wasn't involved with that decision making,
No,
but,
high school, that pool stays.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, we needed it.
And the county school had to pay to use that.
Exactly.
It's a reasonable price, but
We're kind of clearing that up.
that you can't, you know, I mean, my grandmother's from the middle. There's homes all over the county and they can't, have the best, that's all that one.
Well, that's gonna change in the next 2 to 3 years, I would assume, because the city of Dalton has published and advertised that they're building an indoor swimming pool with, I'm assuming it's a 16-lane pool with a separate diving well. So that's what I'm hearing that they're gonna do. Yes,
Is that in the south?
yes, it's at the mall, where the mall's at, behind the mall. It is, yes.
So the national park might have done that money for that.
Yeah, you just,
Yeah, so they're definitely planning on building it. And right now we're in talks with the city, for the third time about kind of putting our recs together somewhat. So, there are talks going on at this moment about doing that. So I think that's something that there's probably gonna be somewhat of a put together a little bit going on here with this one, but, nothing official yet, so I really can't share.
are there outdoor walking tracks?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I left that. There will be a curb sidewalk all around the, 4 fields, and we're trying to put a little walking area around that football field behind the community center.
You know?
We don't know yet. We're kind of just kind of waiting to see, because we want to make a cross-country course kind of through the woods too, with that 16 acres that we get. Hopefully that'll help out. Because without that 16 acres, we wouldn't be able, we've just got a small little wooded area right beside the bypass.
It'd
So,
be nice to have a cross-country trail.
right. Yeah, and we worked, the Southeast Cross Country coach, she's a good friend of mine, and she helped us design the one over at, Rocky Face Ridge, so, and she's talked a lot about, hopefully we can be able to put something in there. We just don't know. We just gotta get everything put in and then start working on the stuff that moves out a little bit.
Brian, how many acres is this park?
That's about 57 acres, if I remember correctly. It's in between 53, and then we bought the land for the house and all was another few acres, I think 3 or 4. So we're pushing 57, and then we'll add the 16 acres because I think that's pretty much a done deal. But the owners of that property were really gracious enough to give us a steal of a deal for that 16 acres. Just to be honest with you, at $4,000 an acre. So
Wow.
yeah, we're very excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this could be a draw like Edwards Park and Heritage Point, so forth?
Oh, I think so, and I think that's kind of the talk is with the recs kind of looking to put things together. When you got a city rec and a county rec, and we're really not against each other, but you're pulling against each other when you're trying to bring teams in, obviously. So the thought process is if we get all of our fields together, then we can go after these big, huge tournaments and put them all together and kind of do a partnership with them. So that's kind of the goal. And Roger's vision was a motel down there one day with this park. He's thinking that his thoughts were if we build this, that there could possibly some motels built down at Connector 3 just for this. And just think about the perfect game at Emerson. They do those huge tournaments. I talked to that guy a while back that runs that, and he offered $50,000 for this pod, just for this pod, separate from the conversation I had with another guy. It was a total different person, but he was basically said he'd give us $50,000 to rent these also. And those teams his tournaments bring in people from other countries playing in them. I mean, the Miami's, the Dominican Republic. I mean, they have teams. This is kind of like the upper level tournaments, and they come from all over. There'll be 115 teams in their tournament for each age group, and economic impact on that would be all of our motels would be full if we did one of those, so.
But you can't really, rent it out to somebody.
It's just talking weekends, man. It's just weekend rent,
So
for
it wouldn't
this.
affect our-
No. Our rec teams play Monday through Friday mostly. And then what we try to do is rent our fields out on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So it wouldn't affect our youth in Whitfield County whatsoever. As far as taking away from them getting to use the facilities. But we're really excited about it. It's, our goal is to kind of have 3 parks in the county, one in West Side, one at Edwards and the Riverbend Park. So we're kind of fulfilling our master plan goal.
Is this going to quell some of the comments in the forum about the county does nothing for the south end of the county?
Well,
We hope so.
I'm gonna, if you got just a small minute, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. All right, when I was a junior in high school, we went before the commissioners. I was designated as a speaker to get to go before the county commissioners at that time, and I can't tell you who they were. I didn't know them, didn't care, but I know I went before, and I asked them a question. I said, "Why does the South always get the shaft?" That was our goal. We went to that meeting and said that. I kid you not, I did that. So push forward to, I guess it was been about 8 years ago, Mike Babb was on the board. And Mike and I were going around. I think you might have been with us. You might remember this story. We were going to the schools and we were meeting with all the schools. I can't think of the program, but it's like a work leadership program. So we're out there talking at Eastbrook and we're kind of going through and I'm talking about rec and job opportunities and things like that. And a little girl stood up and said, "Well, I got a question for you." She said, "Why does the South always get the shaft?" And I went, I didn't know. I did not know. I was just like took back because I'm thinking, deja vu. I've been there and done that. So Mike Babb stepped up and took that question on, and I shared it to them, the group, that I asked that same question many years ago. So, but yes, that was a fun time to hear that. So, but yes, I think this will quell that conversation.
And there's a couple of sewer projects too on the south end, out of this block, at least one,
I think so.
that'll help.
Yes, I do believe so. I know, of course, we're just excited about it. It's just, this is a game changer for us. So we're really, 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 really looking forward to it. It can't get here fast enough.
Brian, how many employees does the rec department have?
Last I checked, about 35.
So y'all see the difference, the county recreation program on Shrewsbury.
We have 7,
Four, yes, 7.
7 total.
Yeah. That's 35.
Our budget's about 1.2 million and theirs is about 3.5, I think, this year. And in our participation, I'm not knocking the city by no means, don't think I am, but we are about 70% more participation than they have.
So when is this project hopefully be complete?
The gym is scheduled to be done in December of this year. The contract was signed for, I think, December 20th, if I remember correctly. So we're hoping for a grand opening in the middle of basketball season. And the fields should come around the same time or could possibly be a little faster, just depending on weather.
So December, January latest.
I think so. I feel real confident about January.
Nice next baseball season.
Exactly, yes. We're excited about that.
Y'all better invite me.
We will. We're excited. We can't wait to do it. Of course, that'll be our ceremony for Roger also, christening in the building in his name. So it'll be a fun time to do.
Does this one have meeting rooms in there that you can rent out?
I apologize. I got started and forgot to talk about that. But we do have 2 meeting rooms. At Edwards, we have 3. So what we did was we tried to make, and we have a pretty good sized meeting room at Edwards, even those that's ever been in there. We have a lot of people that want to do weddings, wedding receptions. So in our numbers, about 80 people in there to get real comfortable. Now we've had 100 in there. When we did the grand opening, we had 100. So you can get them, but it's a little crowded. So this and at Riverbend, we took we had 3 meeting rooms, so I took 2 and tried to turn 2 into one size, basically, just to get one just a little bit bigger to help accommodate. Obviously, we don't charge a lot for rental. The rooms are pretty realistic, cost wise. So, we expect those to fill up pretty quickly, but we do have 2 decent sized rooms for rental.
So they could rent it for family reunions or.
Birthday parties, family reunions, of course, obviously you can rent gyms for that also, but, you can rent it for anything you want. Like I said, we've done weddings at Edwards. We've done receptions, baby showers, bar mitzvah. We've had it all there. So. And we expect Riverbend to do the same. It'd just be a great place for the community to be.
In the back entrance is that Raider Drive or is that Collins?
That's Collins.
Okay.
Yes.
So no entrance from Raider? You just
No. The Raiders will get cut off when we push all that dirt forward. And what we'll do is divert. There's a few houses that their driveways will have to be diverted onto Riverbend Drive. I don't know what the name of the road will be there, and we'll just kind of tie them into the new road. Basically, it'll be a little better for them getting in and out.
Okay, so I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. Where is the bypass and all that? Is that
On the top. And you see the lines, it's more of those red lines up here in the top right corner. It kind of runs like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm so glad we're tying into that lot. That'll make it a lot easier.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was a no-brainer, no doubt. When we looked at it, the Collins Road, there was 2 fatalities there, and that was just not what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just with all the people coming in and out. And of course, again, you guys have been at Edwards. I know we had 8 wrecks in one football season pulling out at Edwards Park, pulling out of the driveway. 8 wrecks in one season. So, and we're working on that too. There's a new red light going in at Maple Grove, and that'll be our new way in and out at Edwards Park too. So, we're hoping that'll help take care of that problem. I hope you guys willing to get out and enjoy this, because go walk around and look at it and check it out. It's exciting. It's kind of hard to tell just looking at that flat drawing, but if you see where the parking lot is, the ball fields are 20 feet. They're sunk 20 feet lower, so you could stand at the top of the parking lot and kind of watch and look down over them. I think it's going to be a neat look. You're gonna have a few stairs you got to climb, or the handicap ramp she'll take in, but it's gonna be the land, just the way it laid out. It was just the easiest way to grade it that way. But it will be a neat look.
One concession stand in the middle.
The middle part, if you see, we've got that right dead center is the concession stand, and there are some handicap bathrooms. But if you look going back to the top, there's another little building right there at the very end of the field, and that's just a bathroom facility. We put that in there just because like walkers and things like that, so they didn't have to walk all the way up. And for that other side of the football field, we just didn't know how much room would be over there when we get down to it, to see if we could put another bathroom facility down there. So we kind of try to put them real close so that there's walking distance for all. But there is handicap available in the middle there. And then if you look at on the community center there, I left off the pavilion. There is a huge. Have you guys seen the pavilion at Edwards Park? Okay, there's a pavilion there also. It's going to be on this bottom right corner. So it basically looks the same as the one at Edwards. So that'll be a great rental thing too for parties. And we're trying to work out. It's kind of a sloped hill right there beside it, but we're kind of trying to get us a level area there to put a little mini playground in right there too, just to have. So that's our future goal.
A volleyball court, kind of like Edwards.
There will be volleyball courts inside, yes. And we're trying to determine if we can put some pickleball courts in there also without having too many lines. I know everybody says it gets confusing. I don't know if anybody's played pickleball or not, but it's pretty fun to play. 50 plus people like myself. I enjoy it. Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for all the work on the park, and thank you, Lynn, as well. I know you put a lot of work into this park, and I'm very grateful. Me, Sherry, and I both we live on the south end of Riverbend, maybe a mile and a half from here. So I'm very selfish and looking forward to starting the park. But our next meeting is April the 6th, so we're not having one in 2 weeks. We're doing it the first and third week of every month. And I know the meals are just getting served, so feel free to stay and fellowship and talk but we'll go ahead and call the meeting, and we'll end it with the pledge and the four-way test. Then you guys stay and eat. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the things that say or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Enjoy your meal.